Silly camera. Hey, is that? Yeah. Hey guys, it's Turek, and I'm doing this will probably be a short video, we'll see. This is a video on stuff I missed yesterday. Well, I'm putting the videos uploaded now on YouTube, but I recorded it yesterday. And I saw some things I missed down here, some things that Teching pointed out, because I always do my review. When I do these little reviews, I like to just try and put into my thoughts everything I see, and then I watch someone's review. I listen to One Piece reviews, especially Teching 101's. I love his analysis and everything on One Piece and his other content he does on this specifically, like Bleach. And I realized I missed a lot of stuff regarding like the big thing was the bounties of Blackbeard and Boa Hancock were shown beneath the little name tags. I didn't even barely see this. Didn't see this in the next to them in the scene where he's holding her and using his fruit to when he captured her, and he's holding her using his fruit powder to stop hers. So her bounty is 1.6 plus billion, like 1.6. I should just bring this closer. 1.659 billion berries, and Blackbeard's has gone up. So his was something like 2.2 billion. Sorry, my neck. 2.2 billion berries. So he was the lowest. He was the lowest Yonko at the time, with like Kaido being the top, then Big Mom, then Shanks, and then him. But now we have these new Yonko, and then we got Luffy and Buggy, and now Luffy's bounty as a Yonko is actually the lowest, as he's exactly 3 billion, and Buggy's is 100 plus million more, 3.1 billion something berries, and now Blackbeard's is 3.996 billion berries, and Shanks I know is like 4.1 or something. I don't know exactly, but I didn't really look it up. But so that's awesome to see that Blackbeard's bounty has gone up. So he's definitely in the zone of a threat. Like, well, he's already a threat, and we know he's the last foe pretty much in this in the series. So and it's very interesting now to see what Boa Hancock's bounty is, as hers was very low at the time of her becoming a warlord, though that was something like 18, she was like 18 or so, probably like 15 years ago. She turned into was accepted into the warlords, or took up the mantle in order to protect her island. But now her bounty, so her bounty was something like 80 million at the time, and now it's gone up to astronomically bigger. So like her bounty, like Boa Hancock is a character I really like. Like I hope she grows to as a character, because she was such an asshole when we first met her. She looks down upon everyone around her. Doesn't even listen to her whoever that is, like her granny or whatever she calls her previous ruler. She doesn't even respect. Boa does not even respect her. Yet when Luffy came around, then she fell for him, and now he's the only one she really treats very well. And she doesn't really treat Raylieh either with so much disdain. It's like someone like his age, and she probably realizes how potent of a person he is. Like not someone she could push around. And I assume he'd probably be another character who would probably be able to avoid her powers, perhaps. That'd be interesting to think. Actually, that brings up something quickly with Boa. Would her powers have worked well? Would she be like one of the characters? Could she have stopped Kaido or Big Mom, I mean to say, with her love arrow or love power, the heart power? I forget how the power. I think she does something like this, and she shoots a heart. Would that work on Kaido? Probably would on Kaido. Would his hockey, or would his just overall his prowess his physical prowess make him able to break out of it? Or Big Mom too? Big Mom, I don't know, would she be interested in Boa? But Big Mom had a lot of husbands, had a lot of kids, but Does she interested in the ladies? And so would Boa's power work on her? That would be interesting to think how Boa might have a fruit power. What now makes more sense to bring this up now. It makes more sense to me why Blackbeard would want this. She may have like one of the fruit powers that could take out practically any foe, no matter how powerful. If it's working, if it can do it that way, any foe, no matter how powerful they are, like quickly, just because they'd be attracted to her, lusting for her, I guess, and then she could use that against them and turn them into stone and potentially just break the statue. Is that how that works? But maybe with like lesser people it would. So Boa has has a bounty now that's higher than any of so she is one of the highest bounties out there now. So we don't know what happened to Big Mom or Kaido, but the bounties aren't going to probably disappear anytime soon. Then we have Shanks and Blackbeard and Mihawk. So like her bounty puts her way up there as one of the highest out there. It's just awesome to see this, and puts her like higher than people like Katakuri and King and Queen. I know those were close to this, but not quite. And so I missed that. And I also missed that Kobe was right there in that panel where Blackbeard has Boa there and try to mediate this situation to stop this from happening. And I also realized when they did that, when Raylieh shows up here and they have his name show up, they actually don't even show his bounty. Now I just was realizing, like, we don't know what Rayleigh's bounty would be. So would his bounty be close to, like, I would have to imagine it'd be something similar to Whitebeard's, 5 billion or more, because he's the right-hand man, and he's still alive. He's the right-hand man of Roger, one of the most dangerous characters to ever live in the One Piece world in the last 50 years, like him and Zebek and Whitebeard, obviously. Rayleigh's this right-hand man, this guy without a fruit, this imposing swordsman, and we don't know his bounty. I'd love to know what it is. He even struck terror into freaking Blackbeard here. It was amazing to see. And the other thing I missed, the big thing, the shocker, and this is punning, I know I'm doing a pun. Shakky, we find out Shakky, the panel, I missed her little panel too. She is an Amazon Lilly citizen. She's was a former captain. It says 2 generations ago. So she must be related. Is this hereditary with, did they make that clear that it's hereditary with Amazon Lilly monarchs, the queens, or the monarchs, the empresses, that they, it's a family thing? So is Shakky some kind of aunt or mother, or no, grandmother? It says 2 generations. To Boa. So, also, by the way, how did they get there? Did they bring their own little ship? I never saw anything with the ship. So Shakky's, man, Oda just keeps dropping these great info, these bombs on us with all these characters. He connects them so freaking well. I love it. And other things I missed too was like SOA. I wonder if Shakky doesn't have a devil fruit either, does he? So I wonder if in the future, if Amazon Lilly citizens will try to want, that's something. Would they want to keep Boa's fruit in there for the next queens perhaps, or empresses to take? I wonder if they would want to try and do that in the future. Because I don't know, it doesn't seem to be any kind of prerequisite that the Empress have a devil fruit. Boa was given it when she was enslaved by the celestial dragons, I believe. And yeah, I wonder if the others would want to keep that fruit. They probably would. If she passed away, I wonder. She'll probably too. I wonder if Boa. I was thinking about Boa yesterday having like a marriage with Luffy in order to have a. I forgot that term now. I was trying to look up the term. For the convenience of trying to have her island protected by Luffy, to say a Yonko is looking over this island as a protectorate. Although I don't think that would work with the Marines. They're probably still going to come back now. Would Boa, so anyways, what I'm getting at is, would Boa want to lay down the title of Empress when she marries Luffy? Would she want to, like, Luffy probably won't want to live there. Well, maybe he would if they cook him meals all the time. I was thinking Luffy would end up just going back to the East Blue someday to retire after his adventuring is over. And I'm wondering if Boa would going with him or following him. I don't know if they get married. I really don't know if Luffy will ever want to get married. He just doesn't seem like that kind of character. Although Goku never did either. Well, Goku did actually. Goku did like cheat when he got to be 18 or 19, whatever it was in the last tournament. He went in that last tournament of Dragon Ball. Him and Chi-Chi were gonna get married. So maybe Luffy will someday. Though at this point he's a little older than Goku and he's still not interested. So I don't know if he ever would want to actually get married with Boa Hancock. And would they, again, back to her laying down her title, would she lay it down and go live with him if he went to the East Blue or someplace else to retire? That would be interesting to think about as well. And so the last thing I was thinking about, I missed here too. Well, I don't know if it'll be the last. I'm trying to find other stuff. I'm sure I missed something else. But I also had missed that the other Pacifistas had actually chopped up the big old snake thing on the top of her island's mountain, and I missed that. And apparently, that one was designed like. So apparently, I was watching from Tekking's review that these Pacifistas are all, possibly all of them, are modeled after younger versions of the warlords, the former warlords. So the one here looked like Boa, and supposedly this other one looked like Mihawk, and he's the one that did the sliced the mountain of her island. Do they show that one there? Lunarian. I see the one there that attacks Blackbeard has a face that reminds me of a younger version of King. I wonder if they. So the question here, the thing I was thinking about after I realized the Lunarians and after I did the other video, I wonder if other Lunarians are being held somewhere or have been. I'm thinking along the lines of something like one that have been captured. A lot of Lunarians might have been captured, and two, I'm thinking about how Dr. Gero had set androids 17 and 18, and he turned them into androids, and now we got the same thing here. Kuma got turned into a machine. I'm wondering if other Lunarians could have been captured, or let me finish this one. They could have been captured, and they have been turned into pacifistas against their will. Because they might be so formidable as a race, because they can survive like anything or something like that. Queen told Sanji that that the government would want to turn them into these super soldier pacifistas as to make their ultimate weapon. Because they're making these things to supplant, to replace the warlord system. They want something more, because the warlords like Boa and obviously more, and they're too unruly. They're doing their own thing. Boa didn't want to join the help with fighting Whitebeard, even though she was ordered to and had to then. And we had Crocodile and Moria and Doflamingo all abusing their power for their own agendas and such. So the pacifistas are now replacing that. They're using Vegapunk's science and ingenuity to have a more stable way of having a counter to the Yonko and other pirates of the world. So anyways, the Lunarians if they have kidnapped the Lunarians, I'm suspecting there could be some more out there. I'm wondering if they've been outfitted in the pacifistas. But also, since this one here that briefly is shown clashing with Blackbeard looks kind of like King, my next thought was that since they had King captured for so long, could Vegapunk have devised a way to clone people in the One Piece world? And could he be cloning these Lunarian, King essentially, but then doing this gene splicing with the other warlord's DNA, because clearly one looks like Boa. Could he be basically raising these kids that are based upon King's biology, but then injecting the warlords in order to try and outfit their... Ooh, could that work? Because the could you clone a person when they have a devil fruit and like Boa, and then maybe have hope that, are they hoping they like get the traits of the devil fruit? Because we know Vegapunk was trying to create cloned devil fruits. He did it with Kaido's. Did he get Kaido's DNA? Holy shit. So he could have got Kaido's DNA, right, and he used that to make the devil fruit that Momo ate. So does Momo essentially have that fruit? Does that fruit just have the essence of Kaido in it too? And maybe now they're trying to... Maybe because Vegapunk thought that was a failure, he didn't want to make artificial devil fruit anymore. Maybe instead, what they're doing here is trying to clone the... if they're trying to clone the warlords, they could be trying to do that in order to maybe gain the enhancements they have. I could certainly see this with like Mihawk. You have someone like him just all around physically imposing as it is, and any other character like that, you got their strength right there. And Kaido would be like that too. If you had Kaido and Big Mom, they're friggin' monsters, right? Big Mom was called a monster as a kid. If they could clone them, that is fucking scary there. They can have something that could, a true force to be reckoned with. If they can like hone that into making a fighting force out of imposing figures and making the clones of them. And then if they're trying to insert that with Lunarian DNA too, they got King's DNA, then you really have a thing there. You baked up something that's, holy hell. That's like a whole thing right there, the cloning. They could just clone everyone and then just make pacifistas out of them too next. Then they can make them into pacifistas to make sure they obey. Kind of like, actually that's interesting because Dr. Gero could never get, back to Dragon Ball, Dr. Gero could not get 17 and 18 to listen to him. But this seems Vegapunk has succeeded there where Dr. Gero in that story could not, in making these things, making people into robots or cyborgs or androids, pacifistas, and they can obey. They have to obey, and then if they can do that with other figures, imagine if they could take Morio's fruit. If they had got Morio's fruit, and then they took that with, they revived a body, and then they could enhance that into a pacifista. Though I don't know if that would be a good way to do it because the bodies are still like decaying, it seems, and they can't go out in sunlight, so that wouldn't work as well. But it could be for, if they could do something like that quickly and they wanted to take like Whitebeard or somebody and holy shit, that's another thing. Where the hell is Roger's body, by the way, then? Roger's body, I just realized if they took Roger and they could revive him, it'd be a horrible thing too. So Roger was executed. Where the hell did his body go? Do they still have it? Does Vegapunk maybe experimenting on that? Oh my god. And then if they have that DNA and they're doing any of this other shit I just said, fuck, we get to see a clone pacifista of fucking Roger. Oh shit, a pacifista of young Roger would be fucking crazy. I'm sorry I'm swearing a lot, but now I am making a longer video on this. The pacifista, they could take Roger's body, they could go find Whitebeard's body, and maybe, well, Whitebeard's been in the ground for a couple of years, that may not work, unless they can get his bones and extract something from there. But they should have Roger's body. Vegapunk may have got it after the execution. He could have requested it and say, hey, I want to look at this guy. He's an imposing pirate. I can use him. I can use King's DNA. I got Kaido's DNA. I can do all kinds of crazy shit. I'm fucking Vegapunk. Oh my god. And if they got the devil fruit thing is anything true, they're going to be going after like Whitebeard soon too. And I mean Blackbeard. I want his DNA to maybe make a pacifista out of. Because there's something up with him too. He's got an unusual body. Oh, and then Zebek. Where's Zebek's body? Right? Garp helped defeat Zebek. Is Zebek's body somewhere? Well, this is a whole thing you can make off of here. So, yeah, they can have Roger's body there on a slab, and they could have. This could go into like the what happened in I didn't care for it much, but it was interesting. The Batman versus Superman. Lex Luthor takes General Zod's body, and then that's where it becomes the Abomination in the in that movie, rather than it being not Abomination. What's his name? What's that character's name? The one that kills Superman in the comics, the Death of Superman. He they had it so Zod becomes that in the I'm gonna look it up quickly. Doomsday. And so Doomsday. What if Vegapunk starts doing shit where he creates a creature like Doomsday, the way it was done in the DC movie universe stuff? So he could take Roger or some of the corpse or Zebek. Well, actually, that maybe. Well, no, maybe he could do something like that where he creates a Frankenstein. I'm going into like Frankenstein's monster territory, I guess, and creating a thing that could be of a person like Roger or Zebek, who were these imposing top of the food chain figures, and making them into some kind of creature that can be used as a weapon. Again, turning them into Pacifista, but deformed. This would be a better way, basically, I'm getting into than what Moria's fruit could do. Oh God, this is something not really. I'm glad. This is why I make these videos like this and just talk, because then I just start thinking about this stuff. This is why I have so much fun with One Piece, and I talk about it aloud like this. My brain really starts firing all pistons, and I can just get all these ideas, these great theories, that stuff that probably I feel like I'm not getting into the head, but thinking kind of like how Oda kind of can think, how he uses his imagination. I love Oda's imagination and how he's creating this world and all the wacky shit he's throwing everything in it, and it's just awesome. So, yeah, I think that's where I'm going to end it now. Today, I'll probably do another follow-up video if I think of some other stuff, and I probably will. Later time. Yeah, so we gotta talk more about Shakky at some point. How the hell? So Shakky obviously laid down her title at some point. There's another thing. What's the prerequisite to lay down your title as the Empress of the of Amazon Lilly? Shakky obviously did it, and left maybe because she went out and became a pirate with Rock's crew, because it mentioned that's what. Well, I guess I got that from Tekken. Did anyone else confirm that Shakky was with a different pirate crew, right? 'Cause she mentioned, I think the only confirmation we had of her as a pirate was that she had been chased by Garp. But maybe that only meant she was a pirate of Emerald Lilly, and maybe she traveled further abroad than what what we see with Boa's clearly not doing this kind of stuff. She stays close to land, I think. I think her sisters do more of the pirating. Let's look at my glasses. They're fucked. I think her sisters do all the pirating, and she kind of stays there to look over the island. So Shakky maybe just went more further abroad in pirating, and Garp had to chase after her. She must have, that's another thing too. They don't show her bounty either, unfortunately. And I bet someone like her would have a very high bounty. I would say her bounty, if she was anyone that Garp had to chase, had to be in a I want to say low 1 billion plus area. Especially now that she's associated with Raylieh, and I'm sure Rayleigh's bounty is like higher than Whitebeard's. I'm keep thinking like, yeah, on par with Whitebeard's or higher. I'm sure hers is really high. Maybe hers is actually more like 2 billion, because she's like a former empress of a big pirate, of a well-known pirate group, island, a nation. That's something else too. Actually, there's one more thing I'm going to say. Oh, I just got up another theory. How many nations are all these? They talk about all these different nations that are part of the world government. What if other nations simply aren't part of the world government because they're like Amazon Lilly, and they're like a pirate nation where they have their own society and civilization and their culture like Amazon Lilly does. They're a bunch of tribal women that lived only on an island for themselves, but they still go out and do pirating. So they're not part of the world government because they're attacking other ships and attacking Marines, and they were only left alone for the last 15 or so years because Boa Hancock was a warlord. What if other nations that are not part of the world government won't join or can't join because they are pirate nations like that, where their main way of existing is to attack other places? There could be pirate nations in the South Blue and the East Blue, that maybe not so much in the East Blue because we just know how weak it is. The other blues though could have these pirate nations that just like they attack other ships there. That's probably like other ships would need navy, have to have their own additional security of their own ships to police their islands, because they know these other islands nearby are always going to raid their ships. So they have to. Maybe that's why too. Maybe that's part of the reason why the world government needs these additional things. They want to bring down these other nation. They want to bring in. It seems like the world government wants to bring in every nation they can into their fold. And the Marines are stretched thin dealing with all these pirates, and then now we got the big ones in the New World, the Yonko, for decades now causing problems, and they can't take care of these other nations that you probably could easily subdue if they didn't have to deal with the New World so much. Yeah, that's about it today. Wow, I'm glad I did this video because I really thought of a few new things I'm really enjoying. Oh, last thing, yeah, Kobe was kidnapped, and we still don't know much about that. I gotta look into that Rocky Port incident again. I don't remember much about that, except that Law was part of it, but apparently Whitebeard was involved in this too, or he benefited from it at least. So anyways, thanks.